Welcome, everybody. This is RPGDad,
RPGNate.
and this is our weekly Encounters Wrap-Up podcast. A day late, but yesterday was July 4th, so we were kind of busy and didn't do any recording.
We're busy cooking stuff all day and playing games and reading GURP's rule books.
Yep.
That was mainly me, though.
That was, we just had some fun and, wasting some time on Black Ops and stuff, but that's outside of the realm of this. So this week was our third encounter, which is the end of session 1 of the Search for the Diamond Staff. We were short DMs this week, and
Yeah, we had 2 DMs.
I
would have DM'd if he wasn't a dipdo and...
No, don't even go there. Stop. I didn't print. Why didn't I print the conversion notes? Because what do I take with me every week?
Well,
Answer me. What do I take every week?
Your computer.
So I don't have to waste 1,000 pages of paper every time that they come out with this bullcrap every couple of months. So, I know we had printed a bunch of stuff out because we had that thing for the weekend that was going to come up, and for character generation. But I thought that I had printed the conversion notes for this encounter season, but I didn't because I'm DMing. We have 4 DMs. Usually one doesn't show. I figured I don't need the conversion notes to be printed.
But look what happened.
But I really don't care. Somebody, I don't care if it was a day. It's the day before the 4th. What the hell? People need to show up. So it was. We had an awesome turnout. If we had 3 DMs, it would have been great, even better. If we had 4, it would have been perfect because once we started, we had 8 to a table with our 2 DMs.
Yeah.
And then a group of 4 more people showed up that wanted to play, and there's no way we were going to 10 to a table. No way. I wasn't happy with 8 because the turns were so slow. And we had, how many newbies at our table? 3?
Pretty much everybody, but
No, there were
Rogue.
3 new people at the table. Because you played RPG Gem and the Rogue. And then we had the father-son, who are not newbies.
Oh, okay.
And then we had the 2 new guys who had never played before.
And then
the other guy that was a 3.5 player that showed up and decided he was going to play.
Yeah.
So that made our 8. The other table had 1, 2, 3, I think 4 new people over there. So, there were a lot of fresh faces there, which is always great on Encounters because Encounters is for what? To bring people into the game.
Newbies.
And everybody seemed like they really enjoyed it. The one guy, we asked everybody if they're coming back. The 2 new guys at our table were like, yeah, we'll be back next week. We enjoyed it. The other guy's like, I'd like to, but I'm going back to school next week, so we'll see.
He was one of the store people's friends that we know.
I was disappointed that, we had to turn 4 away, but I 10 at the table, we would have never finished. Even though, because I would have had to bump up again, and we just would have never finished.
You bump that stuff up enough.
Not for 10 people. It would have slaughtered through in the first 2 rounds. Of course, the rounds would have taken forever, which they did anyway. The only thing that went quick is once I got there, it's like, all right, hit, bam, done.
Yeah.
All right, so why don't you talk and say what you thought about the encounter session?
Those toxic clouds were awful. I got hit every time because I couldn't make the charisma rolls. Because everything I do is a charisma roll as a paladin.
Well, they were con rolls, but...
For me, yeah. Then the orcs... how much did you bump them
up? The leader I doubled. And...
50%.
And everything else I did 50%, and I added 1 human. Basically what they were doing, they were going into a cave.
Yeah, we went into a cave because we were searching for the people who stole the diamond staff from Imani.
Yeah, they were going into the cave, and in the cave there were supposed to be 2 Zent warriors, 2 orc warriors, an orc mage, and an orc leader. So I bumped it to 3 Zent warriors, 3 orc warriors, 1 orc mage, and the orc leader.
Who's
the
leader? Mage?
The leader, the guy that ran away.
Oh.
And the other table, they killed the mage, but honestly I think they played it wrong because the first Zent warrior that goes down, that mage goes away. He goes, poof, throws down his stink cloud, and then he runs. And I think what he didn't pay attention to is one of his spells was invisibility. You saw the back of the cave. There was really no way out. But he was going to wait, blowing, and as far as I was concerned, he got out no matter what, because you guys went over and started searching. All he had to do was blow invisibility, wait, and go through, and he was out.
Yeah.
So, I don't think he even realized. He didn't read the tactics over there, so the wizard was engaging in combat and doing all that stuff, and instead of, oops, that guy went down, I'm supposed to run, and you play the tactics for a reason because I believe you're going to meet the wizard again later in another encounter, but he killed him off. So
was he named the NPC?
I think so, but there's a reason for those tactics in the encounter. And
was he carrying the diamond staff with him?
Yes.
Oh, so you weren't supposed to kill him, were you?
No. But, that's preparation. You sit down and you read and you see what you're supposed to do and you play it out.
Well, he got there like last minute. You didn't have much time to prepare.
You have all week from last week to prepare. But anyway...
Well, he's got his college studies and stuff, so he is...
And it takes a half hour to sit down and read it. I don't care what it is. If you're going to commit to this kind of stuff, you have your weekends, you have a half hour before you go to bed, you sit down. It's 3 pages in the module. If you can't read the 3 pages in the module and look at the conversion notes, it's a total of 5 pages. You shouldn't be DMing. If you don't have the time to prepare, don't show up and screw up a table.
I read 400 pages, or no, 500 pages of GURPS rules yesterday. He could surely.
Well, you skimmed 500 pages. There's no way you read all 500.
Well, about 150 of that were advantages and disadvantages.
Yeah,
all the rest.
You're just looking at the titles of those. But anyway, let's go back to encounters. So we had in the group, we had 2 healers. I did let them take a short rest, so you guys had a couple of heals, literally 2 heals. I had
my 3 because of level. If I chose to,
yeah, but you didn't. Leveling should not give you those because you didn't have time to train.
Oh,
so you should have only had a heal gotten back from that short rest that I gave you. So we had that. We had a fighter. One of the new guys played a fighter. The other new guy played a wizard. So we had 2 wizards. We had a thief.
Yeah. Or no, he's an assassin.
We had a thief and the assassin.
Oh, yeah, because the other guy was playing the...
And then RPG Gem is playing...
Cleric.
A cleric.
Lifebringer or whatever it is.
And you're playing the anti-paladin, the...
Blackguard.
So we had a good table. My issue with the pre-gens that they give you, Wizards gives you, is they blow. I mean, the wizard giving him knock. If you have a thief in the party, knock is worthless.
Yeah.
So I usually let them replace that spell. New guy said, look, just cross that off, and you now have flame sphere. It's like, oh, it's not on here. I said, it doesn't matter. You have that because that's a useless spell.
And that pre-gen wizard has had that.
Yeah.
So he would have it anyways.
So, but the father-son, he's been playing that pre-gen wizard. So that's why he has the flame sphere.
So technically it was different.
So the flame sphere ended up working out well because the other guy didn't have the level 2 spells anymore. So he used sleep and then he forgot to use flame sphere. With a room full of guys like that, that's a perfect spell to use. Just blow that and bam, just baconate everybody. Turn everything into bacon.
I also have a darkness spell, which I could use and screw some people over.
Yeah, but overall, I think the funniest moment of the evening was what?
I'm not going to say.
Oh, it was hilarious. I wish I had video of it, at least audio. We're sitting there, it came to his turn, and his character had just been getting pounded. I got good rolls on him. I was missing everybody else, except I did get the assassin down pretty low, and I knocked down your sister because she and I'm really glad she's doing this. She ran in as a cleric after she had no spells left. She charged in, she did her job, she healed, and then she started attacking.
Yeah.
And she went down. She went down like a sack. And it comes to your turn, and you're getting the crap beat out of you. You were down to, 20 hit points?
Yeah, no, 29.
No, you were, because the 20 hit points put you down.
No, the 20 hit points put me to 9, and then you hit me for another, 10, I think, and that's what put me down.
I thought the crit is what put you down. Anyway, I said, here, just so you can see when I crit on you. And I said it just like that, and I threw the dice down on the table so everybody could see it. And what popped up?
A critical.
A crit. And, no, I asked you, how many hit points do you have left? And I didn't kill you. I gave you a chance because I rolled... it was a 12 plus 2 would have been the damage, and I rolled the d12 again, and a 12 came up. So I'll admit, I decided to let you stay up one more turn, even though I killed you the next turn.
Did you kill me the next turn?
Yeah, I put you down. But you were pissed.
Or no, you put the cleric down the next turn, and I was still up, and she managed to get a heal off on me before I went down.
Yeah, well, either way, you went down, and but the funniest moment of the evening, and I'll never be able to do that again, is when I said, here you can see, just so you can see when I crit, and poof, throw the dice, and there's the crit right in front of your face. That was bad. It was funny, but it was bad. Everybody at the table got a laugh out of that. That was moment of the night.
Yeah.
But overall, it was a fun session. Even though the table was crowded, the turns took a while. The only thing that kept it
took about 10 minutes to get around the table.
The only thing that helped was the fact that I was able to just roll through the NPCs very quickly. They were in the order, so they were like 1, 2, 3.
If this was 4th edition, though.
Yeah, but they were like 1, 2, 3 in a row. I'd still be able to because I'm looking at the things.
No, for the PCs, though.
It would have been bad, but
I mean, not for my character. Consider I'd probably be playing a Blackguard or something because I like that character a lot.
But what helped is when it got, and that's the only thing that I'll say is on the side right now of next is the fact that all you can do is a move and an action. You don't have all this. Oh well, let me sit here for 5 minutes and think what moves, move standard and minor I'm going to do, and it's just you can either do a move, you can do an action. If you plan on switching weapons, that's your action. You're not going to be able to go and sheath a sword, pull a bow out, and shoot in the same round. It's just not going to happen.
It's a 6-second round, or how long are these rounds?
Well, it's a 6-second round, but that 6 seconds is not just your combat. That's everyone's combat happening in that 6 seconds.
Yeah.
So there's no way that when you charge somebody, that you'd be able to, as you're running at them, put your bow away, pull a sword out, and do the attack at the same time. Put the bow away, put the sword, pull the sword. That's an action. And I don't really care if people disagree with that. That's a combat action. It doesn't matter how trained you think you are. That's a combat action. And that's what I like is the fact that it forces you to do that.
Yeah.
So it makes people think when they're going into combat, what am I going to be doing and what do I want to plan for? Other than that, I think everything went really well. The new players had a smile on their face the whole time.
Yeah.
The existing players, except for you, had a smile on their face the whole time. And it was fun. We got done with about 10 minutes to spare. The other table probably went 15 minutes over, but I think the DM was just playing the thing wrong. It shouldn't have taken that long. They were still playing when we left at 20 after.
Yeah.
And I think it was lack of preparation and not looking at the tactics that you were supposed to use. As long as the people there enjoyed themselves, then it doesn't really matter. But, I wasn't involved there, so I didn't see what the enjoyment level was at the table. But, I mean, what do you think? I think everybody looked like they had a great time at our table. Everybody's laughing and having fun.
Yeah, the newbies looked like they had fun. The existing players looked like... The existing players looked like they had fun until I got critted on.
Well, everyone else had fun when you got critted on. I mean, it was a riot. Everybody just cracking up. The other tables looking at us like, "What the hell?" And it was hilarious.
Dick,
huh?
You just crit on me. You're like, "Oh, watch me while I crit."
No, I said here, so you can see when I crit on you, and I threw the die, and that nuke symbol comes up.
You just bought a weighted die, and that's what happened.
I didn't buy it. When I got that die, that was the freebie I got on.
You got a weighted die, and then you painted it exactly like that die.
You wish. But that die gets a ton of crits for me. I say that. I'll have one game where I do that, and then last night it was rolling to tons of 1s, 2s, 3s, and 4s until I sat there and I said, all right, here, so you can see when I crit. And that's when it critted. I could not, I can never...
Oh, I would have preferred the other crit.
I can never duplicate that event again.
I would have preferred the other type of crit.
Oh, the critical miss?
Yes.
Yeah, well, either way, you lived. And everybody leveled up to their next level for this week, so everybody will be level 5 this coming week. Including you.
The next level is going to be a pain because of 9,000 XP.
Yeah. Well, it doesn't matter because you're not going to make it to the next level by the end of this encounter season. It's only 3 sessions for the second part, and it's done. That's another
6 weeks.
6 weeks. Wizards is really going chinchy on these things. I don't know if it's because they're thinking, well, maybe we'll have it finalized. Maybe we'll have a new packet. Maybe. Go back to the 8, 10, 12-week sessions and let people enjoy themselves and get immersed in those characters. I think the shorter these seasons are getting, the less involved the players are feeling, and you're going to start losing people.
6 sessions.
Yeah, it's just not right.
I had 8 last time, and then the 6.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's 6. I can take a look here. I've got the. Do I still have it up?
I don't know. Do you?
Yeah, I think I do. There it is. Let's pull. No, that's not the thing. Adobe. So we have. So that's session 4. Session 5.
Read your stat blocks. Reading your stat blocks.
Okay, you do that. It won't help you. Session 6.
Looks like one more. 7.
Session 7.
Okay, that's good. You're wrong.
Okay, I'm wrong. For some reason, I thought, well, what are they doing then? Because this was end of session 1. Are they going to do a 3 and a 2? I'm going to have to look in the book and see. I look by section when I'm reading it. I don't go through the whole thing.
I remember when it was like 10, 11, 12.
The first one we played, it was like 12 sessions. It was awesome. It went on for almost a quarter. And
then the next one was like that, and then Neverwinter, I think, dropped down to 11. Then the next one.
That's when they started doing. You did character generation, and that was one of the 12. So you did character generation 1 week, and then you went for 11 sessions.
Yeah, they tried to make it so you could individualize your character a little bit more.
So I guess with this one, they're saying it's 9 because it's 1 week and then 8 sessions. But I still think they should go back to the 12 and really get people involved in their characters. And then I don't know. I'd almost like to see them say, okay, at the end of this one, yes, we're going to have a new encounters thing, but here's another module if you want to do like a weekend run for the people who want to run these characters and keep going, instead of being like where we do it on our own, or did it on our own with the characters that are now level 25.
Yeah.
And you weed out the people who are not serious, and there's no problem with people that just go 2 hours on Wednesday. That's great. If you want to go, you're learning, or that's all you have time to do. But I still look at it like this should be something where you're able to get your players who are serious and say, hey, let's get a group together and let's keep running these characters.
Yeah.
And that's what we've done. And, we've just run these things up, and they'll be 30 and retired. And unless you can take up something to do with our level 30s, but I don't think you want mine once she achieves godhood running around killing things.
No, I want to run a GURPS campaign. It looks really fun.
But, I'm enjoying it. I think that's really what Wizards needs to take advantage of is, they used to do the lair assaults, but instead of doing the lair assaults, have a secondary after a campaign ends. It's like if this one's supposed to go from level 4 to 6 or 7, have that level 7 to 10 module come out and say, look, play these things. This is the continuation.
And then 11 to 14.
Well, just do that, and then from that point, once you hit the Paragon path, then people might be excited enough to keep it going on their own. And there's enough Paragon tier modules out there for you to go ahead and pick up. I know there are other modules out there that they can pick up from like 7 to whatever, but I really think Wizards needs to start pushing it more. It's not going to cost them that much money, and the more players you get to get deeply involved, they're going to buy the expensive stuff, the books and all the crap that they buy. And they'll be more interested in paying for the monthly fee and the stuff that they're really cheesing you on, but makes you playing the game easier.
Well, Wizards, with 5th edition, I was kind of into it, and then you got me the GURPS books, which really turned me away from D&D. Since I'm
what came out this week that I'm almost interested in?
What?
It's a Star Wars book.
For what?
It's like 500 pages. It's a core edition, and it's for a role-playing game. No, it's its own RPG.
Star Wars?
Yes. And there you don't have an option of being a Jedi or any of that kind of stuff. It's all guys like Han Solo, a Han Solo character, or like maybe you have some type of force power, but you're not a Jedi. Because there are Force users who don't understand why they do it in the Star Wars universe, but they're not Jedi. They can control things or whatever. But it looks really interesting. So I might bone up the $60 for the book this weekend when we go and play and get that.
Two of our players have already bought the GURPS book.
I know, but I'm still thinking about buying it, and we can look into maybe even running another campaign. If you wanna run something with friends or something outside, but it looks interesting. That's what I like buying things to see what they look like sometimes, and this falls into that category. It looks like it might be worth it. But anyway, that's off topic. It's RPG, and if we get it, we might even look at it and do a review. Today, we have something cool coming, so we're going to do an unboxing video for this.
I don't know what it is.
All of our larges are coming.
Oh, okay, yeah, okay.
So, we did that Kickstarter. We have that video online with the unboxing of the Kickstarter. We might, because I'm going to use a different camera, just go over show some of the Kickstarter stuff again. But we're going to unbox the larges that we got. Now, we didn't get all of them. I wasn't really interested in Cthulhu and some of this stuff, just because we're never going to have a need for it. But we got, I think, all of the dragons.
I might make a Cthulhu.
We got we got all of the dragons. We've got the giants coming. There's some really cool stuff coming, and I definitely want to do an unboxing and show that on the channel. So we'll do that probably late this afternoon after it comes and after we do our other stuff we have to do today. And then, this weekend we're playing again. We weren't going to play, so Monday we will have a weekend gaming session wrap up, and we'll just be back on a regular schedule.
We'll be missing our healer, though.
I want you to generate a similar type healer so that we can have it at the table.
All right.
So spend some time today, tomorrow, generate that, and somebody can play the healer. But that's about it. Wednesday it was a great session. I think it would have been.
Hopefully, the father and son will show up because we did invite them. We'll see about that though.
Oh, on Sunday, yes. But if you're out there DMing and let's say you're used to playing 5-6 players, you have 2 more show up. Don't turn players away if it's like 8. Yeah, if you're getting to 10, 12, it's unruly. But if you're a good DM, you can handle 8 players and keep the game going. You'll know how much to bump it up and not wipe the party, which is what I did. I bumped it up. Yeah, I put a hurting on you, but it was mostly for the crit that did it. I put a little bit of a hurting on RPG Gem, but when I looked at her character sheet, she didn't heal after the last session. So she started down like 13 hit points.
Oh, wow.
So that's why she went down so quick. But everybody else, everybody stayed up. The thief got close. He got down to like 10, 11 hit points. He was probably 2 hits away because none of these guys were real powerful. And even though I'm rolling, a D12 on the axe hits, and it's only a +2, most of the time it's not going to be 10, 11 points that you're getting hit for. But yeah, don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to let those 2 new players come and sit down.
You don't want to steer them away so that they don't.
I wish I could have figured a way, but there wasn't even room at the table for 2 more players to sit. I mean, 8 at the table is the way we have. That's it. I can't have people shifting around, standing up. It just wouldn't be cool.
The new tables, because our comic shop just expanded, the new tables aren't quite as big.
No, it's the same double tables.
They are? I
think they just got newer versions of them because they're not kind of uneven and stuff. And then they might put another round in. It's very cool because they did they moved the store to a bigger area and a bigger location, and now we have our own set of tables. It's just RPG tables. So used to be the Magic people and all these other gamers would just come and sit wherever they wanted. Now we have our own section, and if we come to sit down and play RPGs and there are people playing something else, we can go up front and say, "Tell them to get the hell out. We're here to RPG," because that is our section.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I
will be a dick like that because that's our section.
But we have all our RPG books and stuff as well there.
Yeah. So it's awesome. So next week is the beginning of part 2. We'll be sure to keep moving on. Hopefully we'll have all our DMs there next week, and our tables will be it was unruly. That was the only thing. It was just a little tough for the players to keep track. And you could tell that they started, oh man, when's my turn coming? Even though I kept trying to press everybody. I'm like, all right, PC1, PC2, PC5, it's your turn. Go, go, go.
I don't have much that I can do, so.
Well, there's not much you can do. It's 5th edition, so it's not like you're going to sit there. And when you've got all those people at the table, you should be sitting there and not just think of one thing so that, oh, I'm going to hit this guy, and this is what I'm going to use. Well, if that guy's dead, then you've got to think again. Give yourself 2 or 3 things to think about doing so that if that first thing you were going to do can't happen because that guy's dead or they've moved, then you have your next thing. Okay, this is what I'm going to do. Just keep up with the game. That's part of the problem with RPGs when people are playing is, they don't think about their turn until
their turn.
Yeah, and that's not right. It's not.
I keep forgetting that I have cleave though, because once I kill something, I can attack something else. I keep forgetting that, and I think it hurts the party a little bit.
Now, is it cleave where is it like a follow through and it's the same attack and you're just adding damage, or how does cleave work?
I think it's like, you just chop that guy in half and you're following through, and as long as they're in your reach, you're fine.
So, but you roll to hit them, and you're going to do the same damage. It's not like ancillary damage, or where you're just going to say, okay, they get hit by 5 or something like that.
I think it might be the same damage because I know area.
Well, you should know if you're going to be using it.
Area of effect.
It's not an area of effect. It's a melee.
Yeah, so it's probably 2 different damages because you're hitting.
Well, you know what? Before you play next week, you need to make sure you know what it is.
Well, I know what it is. It just says make another melee weapon attack.
All right. Well, then it's a second attack.
Yeah.
But think about your attacks. This is for players out there. Think about your attacks before your turn comes. Then when it comes, say, okay, all you have to do is say, point at the thing you're attacking. This is what I'm going to do. Bam, you're done. And like I said, think of a couple of things. Make sure that you have contingencies in mind in case that attack's no longer available. Okay, oh, he's gone. Well, this is what I'm going to do. And everybody's not sitting there waiting for you going, oh my God, why isn't this guy ready? We just had 7 players. The DM went before him. What the hell is wrong with him? He's had 10 minutes.
Yeah.
I mean, as a DM, that's what I'm thinking when a player's just deciding what they're going to do on their turn. And as a DM, you shouldn't be DMing if you're not thinking tactically and what you're going to be doing to the group. You need to also do the same thing. Think ahead. You know which members of the party, as a DM, that you want to eliminate first, because that's going to make it harder for the party to make it through.
Yeah. Like, you probably want to eliminate me first because I'm the biggest, meanest looking one there because I have all the heavy armor and stuff.
It depends. I mean, if I've got a healer that can keep everybody up through everything, then I might range that healer out of the game. It depends what I've got at the table as to what tactically you're going to do. Now, I never go for the TPK. I don't want to go for a TPK as a DM. I don't want to kill the party. But yeah, I want to make it so that they just don't dance through the encounter.
They need to add marks and stuff again, because...
No, I don't like that. They don't need to add the marks. I mean, I'm sorry. You can't mark a target and just make extra damage. You're aiming at that target, that's it. There are no...
No, as a tank with the mark, you didn't get extra damage. It was just like, attack me or I'm going to kill you.
You mean stuff like the stances?
Not the stances, like the tank's marks.
No, well, are you thinking about like the paladin when you take, defender's aura,
yeah,
stuff
that would
like
work
that?
Too.
That once again, then they'd have to go back and start adding minors, and we already have that. If they're going to do that, cancel 5th edition and keep playing 4th. You know what I mean? We don't need to add that 3rd action. You move and you attack. You move, you switch weapons. You move, you cast.
It has to be for 3rd action because, I have auras on my paladin, but I have to use an action to activate them. They would just have to add it as an aura that you use an action to activate it.
But you wouldn't be able to attack that turn.
Yeah, exactly.
But, they can do that, but as long as they don't start, Wizards, please don't listen to the forums. The people in there just don't know what the hell they're doing. Don't listen to them. You don't need to add extra actions and drag out combat.
Yeah.
Make people have to decide, do I want to generate an aura or do I want to attack? Do I want to cast or do I want to pull a weapon out because I'm out of spells? Make people have to think. It's a role-playing game, but you should have to think. And if you're not intelligent enough to be able to think, then that's your problem.
Game. You actually have to think.
Exactly. It's not like when you're playing a game on the console and you're just hitting buttons and running. There's not a lot of thinking going on.
No. The most I'll think about in Black Ops 2 is where am I going to camp here?
Well, like when you went through Metro, you had to decide whether you were going to be stealthy or just try to bull your way through the China shop. And you found out that bullying your way through the China shop was a bad idea because the shopkeeper had a big axe and he freaking chopped your head off.
Until I finally switched to easy mode because I couldn't freaking make it through that one level, and I was able to just kill everything.
But the thing is, that's a big difference. We play role-playing games because we like tactical games. We like to have to think. We like the role-playing as well. The having fun, talking at the table.
And one of the issues with 4th edition is they don't think about the way monsters would actually react if they saw you because of death and injury and stuff like that.
Well, the thing is, if you're saying monsters are not really going to think. They're going to attack.
Like orcs. I'm talking
an orc is not a monster. An orc is a humanoid. So you need to separate the two. Humanoid encounters, a humanoid...
NPCs.
No, but you've got two different things you can hit. Yes, a monster, an animal, a creature, they're going to attack or they're going to run away. Humanoid is going to do what's in their best interest. But in 4th edition, the humanoids just run, charge, attack. It's like a kamikaze attack.
But they're not going to want to do that because self-preservation.
Exactly. And I don't know that that's necessarily a 4th edition problem. It's a gaming problem caused by, I don't know, piss poor DMing and lack of thought when they make the modules. And even if they think the module out, you've got DMs out there that are still going to just have the things charged, let the guys chop and take experience points and get the loot. I would much rather play with a DM that thinks it out and takes the time to realize that, yes, it's an orc, it's bad, it's, yes, it likes to fight, but no, it's not stupid. It's a sentient being.
It still has that fear of death.
Well, it's a sentient being.
Fear of injury.
It's a sentient being. That's all you need to say. It understands. It knows it's alive. It knows it's living. It knows its life ends. And it's going to do what's in its best interest, just like the party should. And I think a lot of that where that you need to pay attention to that too. The party should look at its best interests. But they've made it the fact that there are healing surges and all this crap where everybody can heal themselves. The parties even play stupidly and just charge into battle without any care about whether their character is going to live or die. When we played 1st edition back in the day, you had to think whether because let's say you spent 2 years on this character and you're coming up against some big badass. Are you willing to just let that character die? Because death was pretty final. We lost characters back then. Are you willing to just say goodbye to 2 years of game time that you played? And that's a hard thing to do. Nobody has that risk anymore. It's just so easy. Oh, we'll just go pay for a resurrection. We have all these heals. We've got this. We've got that.
In 5th edition,
you're not as vested.
In 5th edition, it's a lot easier to die again because
I don't know.
Yes, you have heals, but once those heals are spent, they're spent.
Yeah, but then they still have the cantrip heals that'll get you back to 1 point.
And if you don't use, if you get hit hard enough, you're dead still.
That's true.
You did die. You've died in Saturday.
On that one, but we were in a place where you came back, so that's why I played Kamikaze and went in and did what I did. I knew he would come back.
Encounters, you shouldn't be. Yes, the death should be something there, but it shouldn't be like
that. Should be something held over your head that makes you have to think, but
it still shouldn't be super common.
Well. That's what you have to look at with GURPS. It looks like it's going to be easy to die. So you.
Oh yeah, I've been reading through the second book because, like I said, the first book that was 150 pages of advantages, and then there was some equipment, which you really don't have to read that. You just have to read how the equipment works, how to read their what's it called when you abbreviations? Yeah, abbreviations. But I've been reading through the campaigns book, and as a DM, it's like, you should think, because NPCs, PCs, they're not going to want to immediately run into combat because of injury. That is something that exists there. You get shot in the leg, you're not able to use that leg. You get shot in the hand, you're not able to use that hand.
And you can target specific parts of the body when you're attacking.
You get shot in the eye, you're not able to see out of that eye.
Ever again.
But yeah, well, you have to take like 10 points of damage to the eye for it to be blind.
But that's the thing. That all these things are threats that are held on your character. And
so you don't want to just, oh, look, there are guys over there. I'm going to go kill them. You want to be like, look, there are guys over there. Do we want to go immediately kill them, or do we want to talk to them? And the NPCs are also going to be like, well, look, they're coming at us. I don't really want to lose my leg right now, so I think I'm going to talk to them first and see how that goes.
It looks like, and it should be, that it makes combat a last resort.
Yeah,
and combat should be a last resort in all times.
It's a true RPG.
So, that's another thing that I found interesting. I mean, I read through you're trying to get me to read the core book again. I read through the core book once. I'll read through it again. But it's not a rush right now because we've probably got a full summer of this.
Well, I have
campaign.
to read it because I got to write.
Well, you've got to read it. You've got to write your campaign. You've got to generate NPCs. I don't have to read it yet.
The first thing I'm going to do, I think I'll probably do it today, is I'm going to try and generate a character to see how it goes.
Well, we've got plenty of stuff that needs to be done. You've got time to do it. You've got all weekend. We'll worry about that later. But GURPS looks just absolutely interesting because of what you just said. Combat is a last resort.
At first, I was kind of dubious about playing GURPS because I didn't really know it. It was strange to me.
I know people who've been playing GURPS for years and love it.
And then I started reading this through the books, and I'm like, hey, this is actually it looks really, really fun.
Yeah.
It's really interesting. I think I'll actually take a shot at it, see how it goes. If it goes bad...
And now you've got the core of the fantasy and the other one, and you're like, this looks really cool.
Yeah. Fantasy has some templates. I think I got to make a couple like the Dark Elf, because I know you're going to want to play that.
Well,
we'll
see.
The Gnome. I know you hate that, but what if somebody wants to play it? There can be NPCs in the world.
Then I'm going to kill every gnome that I see.
Remember, they can still stab you in the foot. They can still stab you in the leg.
Not if I stab them in their sleep.
And then, they have garrotes and stuff, and it works the way a garrote would. They're going to have a really, really hard time stopping that, because they can put their hand up there, but if it's a wire garrote, their hand's about to get cut off.
Yeah, and the thing is, that's what I don't like about D&D. They act like you can break a garrote hold, and no, if you have 18 inches piano wire wrapped around your neck, it's already cutting into your skin. You are not getting it out. You are dead.
You have a chance.
No.
But
real life,
very, very
you have
small.
There is no chance unless you've got a gorget on or you get your hand up there first. Once it's around, you're dead. There's no getting out. You're dead. It doesn't take much to cut through that skin on your neck and just make you spurt all over the room.
Well, remember, a game round and this, 1 second.
But that's what I'm saying. The whole thing, when they added the executioner with the garrote I thought was a great idea until, they can break the garrote. No, they can't break that hold. It just went through your skin. It's cutting through your arteries. You are dead.
I think their thought there was it would be entirely overpowered, but it does.
It is an overpowered weapon. You can only use it once. It's not like you can run around the battlefield garroting people. You can sneak up behind somebody. You can go. You should have to be hidden. And you can't get hidden again and just go, okay, I hide and I garrote. I hide and I garrote. It's a one-shot deal. That's part of my problem with how they broke the assassin in 5th edition.
I knew you were that.
I know, because it pisses me off. All assassinate maneuvers are one-shot deals. You have one chance to do it. If you hit...
The moment you started with the one-shot deals, it was just like, he's definitely...
But the thing is, if you hit... That's it. They're done. And I don't care if people don't like assassins because of that. In real life, think about it. Do you like fucking assassins? Nobody does. They have a bad name because of what they do.
I suppose, is she female and is she hot?
They still don't like them because what if she gets bent at you? She's going to assassinate you. Nobody likes the assassins in real world. But the fact is, they're good at what they do. They're one-shot killers. They're not there for melee. They're specialized. And I'm sorry, you get a garrote on your neck like in 4E, that should be a kill shot. You do an assassinate in 5E, that should be a kill shot. It was a kill shot in 1st edition. It was a kill shot in 2nd. And they've stripped us of the one thing that makes the character, that's the allure of the character. You're that one-shot, ultra-deadly killer who's not going to go and dance in combat.
But in first edition as well, you had
you had a percentile. You had a
it wasn't
percentile
even
chance.
guaranteed that you were going to kill him in one shot until you got to like level 15 or level 16, whatever.
Well, even in level 15, when you get to Grandmaster of Assassins, it's like 98% chance or 99%. So you could still technically, that 1% is you go in the room, you get distracted, you make a noise, the guy wakes up, and then you still stab him through the heart or do what you're going to do. That's your 99%. The 1% is he wakes up and you're like, oh shit, I'm in combat now. He's calling for help. And you have to figure if you're going after somebody to assassinate, they're probably well trained and powerful too. But that's not going to get them out of the fact that once that wire's around their neck, you've gotten up successfully behind them, they're as good as dead. Yeah. And it doesn't matter how many hit points you have, your head getting removed by a piece of wire, that's 100% hit.
But in GURPS as well, you have to be trained with the Grow to even get any damage.
Well, you should. You should have to be trained. I mean, you're not going to... It's not an easy thing to do, like people think.
I haven't actually read the GURPS training power. I think by each level you buy in it, you do more damage. I'm not quite sure about that, though.
But, that's a problem that I have with a lot of role-playing games. There are things that, people, it's overpowered. There are a lot of things in life that are overpowered. Get the fuck over it.
Yeah.
A bomb dropping on your head is overpowered. You can't get out of it. You don't have enough hit points to survive that blast. Get over it. That's the way RPG should be. And I wish people would realize that's the way they should be.
In GURPS, it is possible, depending on what type of settings the GM picks, because you either have realistic or cinematic. Cinematic explosions don't kill you, they just kind of throw you around.
Well, you need to work on it. I really want people to be forced to think when we play.
I'm playing realistic. I don't like cinematic. If I'll talk about the campaign that I'm building as I'm building it. I have an idea in my head right now. I have two, actually. I think the second one will be for higher level because of what it is. It's undead stuff, so it's going to be harder because you have no chance of getting through them without fighting. But yeah, so I have ideas. I'll work on them. I'm going to build a character first, like I said, to see how it looks.
You just need to make sure that you're not overpowering it so that you do a 2PK. You want to make people want to come back every week because nobody's going to come back if the character's getting killed every week and they have to regen.
And it also makes a point that killing the characters isn't quite a good idea. It's a good idea to fake the roles sometimes because most of the time you're going to be emotionally attached to that character after you play it.
I try to fake the role sometimes. I mean, I did on your damage on that crit this week. I couldn't fake the crit because it was on the table.
Let's say your guy has you just rolled a 3. You just criticaled on that guy. So
and he's saying a 3. That's for GURPS. You roll 3d6. It's a d6 system. It's not a d20. So you roll 3d6 to attack. A critical hit is what? 16, 17, 18?
Or no, it's a critical miss is 17 or 18. Unless you have a 15 skill in that, then it's only an 18. If you have a 15 skill, you crit on 5, 16, 6, 17, 7, 18, 8, and so forth. I don't really know if it goes that high. I got to read through it.
It's not a D20 system. I kind of like the fact that all you have to carry is D6 with you all the time.
We'll probably buy a shitload of D6.
Well, I bought that thing of 36 little D6 that I used.
Oh, there are monsters in there. There are monsters they've built that do like 50 D6.
Yeah, but we should never come up against them.
That's like Tiamat, though.
Yeah, we should never come up against them, ever.
I thought it was hilarious. I'm looking at his stat card, and it's like, well, damn, 500 strength. I don't think I ever want to fight him. No. I don't think you ever want to fight him.
No.
I don't think he cares about talking to you. He's just going to rip your head off.
He just doesn't even care about your existence. He's not going to mess with you. But anyway...
they have Lilith in there.
It looks like it'll be fun. And... right
straight
now,
away from D&D a while ago.
We're still gonna be doing the encounters every Wednesday. I think that it's gonna come a point when they go to next that I'm strictly gonna play because I'm not buying all the new DM guides and everything for 5th edition. If we're gonna play D&D, I'm gonna play 4th edition. When we play on our own, or we can go back to 1st edition because we have all the books for that.
And the books for that are
and on our honestly on our weekend game once we finish this epic level thing, if you're done with your GURPS thing, then we're going to start playing GURPS.
Yeah, and we have two of our players are really interested in it. They just bought the books.
And we can always come up with one more. We need people that are willing to come out on a weekly basis, play and have fun.
And then I'm sure that our healer in the Sunday campaign will do it. They just need to restock on the player books. They might want to buy campaigns because it did see
No, I wouldn't. I would not encourage any players to buy campaigns because it's a DM book. All they need is...
But it explains actions you can take, which is why.
Well, I know, but you know what? There are free download cards from Steve Jackson Games that explain the actions and stuff as well.
And one thing I like, because it is 1 second rounds, you could move, which you can move your full move, or you can attack. And then there's a move and attack, but it's like 1 step forward and attack.
Yeah.
And then there's all-out attack, and I think you have a minus.
So it eliminates crazy shit like my thief and my 25th level thief, where she can move 30 feet and then she can charge another 30 feet and run in a circle and still just murder you.
Yeah, pretty much. And I like that. But anyways, and then I saw an assassin template. I'm going to look at that because I know you're going to pick it. I just know it because that's you. You just pick assassins. You're going to be like, oh, look, an assassin. I want that. And then, like, when I build my dark elf template,
what I'm gonna want is a scion assassin.
You'll have to buy the skills first.
Oh, I will.
Depending on how much the assassin is and how much I make the dark elf, depending on what advantages and disadvantages it has.
Well, it'll have disadvantages that are just social, probably.
Yeah, probably.
And then, advantages might be similar to what you have. Since it's a dark elf, it might have low light or dark vision.
Yeah, I think I'll give it
But
dark vision.
I think what I would do is offset these social advantages with disadvantages with the dark vision, and that's to make that a 1-for-1.
Yeah. I'll figure out all that out. I'll see if they actually have a dark elf first, so that I'm not wasting my time. And then
yeah, just look into it. But we're going pretty long today. We
always go long.
Let's go ahead and stop here, and if we want, we can do a podcast. And as you start messing with your GURPS, do a GURPS podcast, talk about your experience learning it. And I'm thinking about that new RPG that came out, the Star Wars one. I'm going to buy that this week, and we might do a review on that. The book looks like it's just awesome.
You can read through it.
It's 500 pages, 494, I think. It's just huge.
I've read 500 pages.
So, all right. Well, that's it for now. We're gonna have, like I said, we're gonna have our thing come this afternoon.
We'll do a video about that, but
we'll pop that box open on video.
Anyways, thanks for listening. If you're on YouTube, please like and subscribe. If you're on the blog, click the link to YouTube and do all that stuff. Anyways,
remember, look at RPGgang.com and look at RadBoyGames.com if you're also into console gaming, computer gaming,
go to
Minecraft, any of that crap. And we have our links to our YouTube channels there.
Also, yesterday, if you're into Minecraft, we did this 4th of July thing. It didn't turn out quite as good as I liked because,
your other fireworks turned out a lot better that you did before. This one, for some reason, it turned out a little dark. But take a look at it. Go ahead and tell them how much it sucks or if you like it or not. But I think for some reason it was just your perspective was off, or you needed to record from the perspective of somebody who might have been closer to the fireworks so that they could see it better.
I was on the stands that I built like 5 minutes before I set it off, so I didn't really think about where I was going to put it. Probably if I put them on the other side, that would have been closer because RPG Gym decided to build a fair there, so I had stuff in my way.
Okay. But anyway, check it out. The kid, they work pretty hard on their Minecraft stuff, so take a look at that as well. But, we're going to be doing a lot more of the RPG and even board gaming stuff, so be sure to stay tuned.
And I'll probably do a podcast on GURPS because I really like it. I want to talk about it. But anyways, like I said, thanks for listening. And
this is RPG Dad signing off.
I will see you next time. Bye.